Hey AccuFit users, I just wanted to do a demonstration of some features around managing defects in plate and sheet material. So let's just get started. I'm going to add an order to my plan. This order calls for 5-inch thick plate, and it calls for 18 pieces of 7 3/8 by 31 7/8 inches. So we'll add that order to the plan, and as you'd expect, AccuFit's going to pull up the available inventory that matches that thickness and the corresponding material specs and the alloy and so forth. Now let's say that as a planner I know that this particular plate, it's got a defect in this upper right corner. And I know this because the plate has been inspected, and whoever inspected it produced a report which shows the exact location and size of the defective area. The rest of the plate's still good, so we don't want to throw the whole plate away, but we just want to mark a particular region as being defective. So I can click the Edit button here where it says Plate Defects, and that takes me to a new page which shows me a view of the plate. And this allows me to basically tell AccuFit where those defective regions are. So I can just say new region and move this around and resize it as appropriate. And so obviously I would be looking at that inspection report when doing this to make sure I position this correctly and make sure it's the correct size. It's showing me where that rectangle is located in terms of inches. So I can even type in, if I know that, for example, the defective region starts exactly 6 inches from the top of the plate, I can just type in 6 there and it'll move that region accordingly. So I can type in the numbers directly, or I can just drag and drop. But anyway, when I'm done, I'm just going to hit save. And now back to my previous page. If I hit the search button again, which refreshes my search results, you can see that purple defective region is shown there on the plate. And there's a little icon here as well, indicating that this tag has some defective regions. I could have added more than one defective region, by the way. I just didn't for simplicity's sake. You can have as many regions as you want, so maybe there's a region here and so forth. But for now, we'll just have one defective region. Okay, so now if I go ahead and add this plate to the plan, AccuFit is not smart enough right now to avoid that defective region. It shows it. It displays that it's there on the plate diagram, but it doesn't plan around it. That feature is coming soon, but right now it's ignoring it for the purposes of nesting the job pieces onto the plate. But what I wanted to show today is that it does realize that it has done that. It has put some job pieces into that defective region. That is, some of the that purple rectangle overlaps with some of these job pieces, and those are shown in the nesting table as separate rows with this defect icon next to them. So these two job pieces, for example, have this purple icon next to them, while all the other job pieces from that same job do not. So I've got 16 pieces from job 1504. I've got 16 pieces which are not overlapping with any defect region, and I've got 2 pieces from that same job that are, and that's how that's indicated in this nesting table here. We've also got some return to stock pieces. You can see here, same concept. I've got 4 return to stocks that are not overlapping with the defective region. I've got 2 that are. From here, I could launch the cut editor, which allows me to manually lay out the pattern myself, if I want to avoid putting any job pieces in that defective region. So for example, here we go. So what I can do here is I've got that job selected, so I can go ahead and let's say I want to place a cut there and fill this side of the plate with as many pieces as will fit. And then on the right side of the plate, I want to avoid the defect, so I'll just put a cut right there and then fill this portion, and that actually gets me my 18 pieces that I needed for the job. And I've avoided overlapping any of the job pieces with that defective region, which is good. But right now it's marked both of these rectangles, these gray rectangles, as return to stock, which is fine. We could, potentially deal with that defective region again when we pull this back from stock to process the next order, for example, or I can go ahead and place additional cuts right now and just scrap that defective region. I don't want to scrap this entire rectangle because then I'm wasting material. There's some good material here that maybe I want to save. So I can switch this to place a cut at a custom position. Let's say I want to go 20 inches. So I put a cut 20 inches from the left there. And then I mark only this portion as scrap and I keep the rest as return to stock. And now if I save this plan, you'll see that it takes us back to the main plan page, and you can see I've got two good RTS pieces and then a scrap piece which has a portion of it is defective anyway, so I don't mind scrapping this whole thing. If I go to full screen mode now, and this is what is new in the most recent release here, October 2024, the most recent release we did. We are now showing the dimensions of the defective region on the plate diagram itself, and in the nesting table, we're showing, all the pieces that are nested within the plate. But if one of those pieces overlaps with a defective region, we show this little label here in purple, defect. And that would have been the case even if one of the job pieces was overlapping with the defective region. That job piece would also have that defect label, like I showed on the main page earlier. So that label is shown there now. The label is also available for you to see in the cut instructions. So the people actually running the saws and making the cuts will know that after they make this cut number 7, that's this cut right here, after they make that cut, that what that cut should yield is one good RTS piece, which is the thing on the left there, and then one scrap piece which has a defect in it, which gives them an indication of why it's being scrapped. I just want to show real quick what that would have looked like in AccuFit's original nesting with the job pieces overlapping those defective regions, which of course we don't want this. We don't want to ship a job piece that is partially defective, but I just want to show anyway what that would look like in the full screen view based on our latest release. So you would see then in this in the nesting table that, okay, 2 of the job pieces for job 1504 are partially defective. So this is your hint that something is something needs a little bit of closer attention here from the planner. And also this job also has one piece that is partially defective. That's job 1472. You can see this job piece here does also overlap with that defective region, which is not good. And then also in the cut instructions, same thing. You will see those indicators there to give you a very clear hint that that the pieces being produced are overlapping with a defective region. So yeah, so that's it for this video. Like I said, in a future release, AccuFit will automatically, when nesting jobs, it will automatically avoid putting any job pieces in that defective region, but for now you've got to do that manually. That's all for now. Have a great day, and As always, you can email info@accufitsolutions.com if you have any questions or suggestions. Thanks.